I like that.
Ray Brown's Talkin Birds.
Made possible by the generous support of the Birdwatchers General Store, Orleans, Cape Cod. Birdwatchersgeneralstore.com.
And by Vortex Optics with the VIP warranty. Their unlimited lifetime promise to keep you and your optic covered. Learn more at vortexoptics.com.
Good morning, or afternoon, or evening, and welcome to our show number 1050, during which we'll learn about an effort to save Hawaii's honey creepers. Plus, Mike O'Connor's Let's Ask Mike Live segment will report the results of a backyard bird attraction test. We'll also feature a bird from very far away, and we'll listen to an audio postcard from quite nearby. I want to give an update on a conservation battle in a special and sensitive ecosystem, the Florida Everglades. On Friday, August 8th, after 2 days in court, the Friends of the Everglades shared some big news. It's that a federal judge has issued a temporary restraining order forcing the state of Florida and the Trump administration to pause further construction at the Mass Detention Center, known as Alligator Alcatraz, in the middle of Big Cypress National Preserve. So that restraining order means that new construction must stop for 14 days while the Friends' case continues. Big Cypress, by the way, which is part of the Everglades, is home to river otter, deer, bobcat, coyote, black bear, Florida panther, and a large variety of birds, including the federally endangered Florida sandhill crane. So stay tuned. The Friends and their allies will be back in court next week seeking a permanent injunction against further construction of this detention facility within a national preserve. Well, here's that close-to-home audio postcard featuring a member of our Talkin Birds team.
Hi, this is Debbie Bleacher. I'm here for a work party here in the Talkin Birds Garden. You might be able to hear a common raven commenting on our work in the background. It's been supervising from up atop the transmitter. And there's the house wren. We think that's the one that's nesting in the nest box here in the garden. Yeah, we've heard a very vocal catbird or two and a couple of song sparrows, which is all great accompaniment to pulling up bittersweet. It's a beautiful day. Bye.
Thank you, Debbie, there in the Talkin Birds Garden from our little party out there, our little bittersweet pulling party. And we want to say thank you to Peter and Janet, by the way, for joining us in that little crew effort there. Thanks for being with us here at our Talkin' Bird show, where our mystery bird contest is always part of the proceedings, and this week's bird is kind of an unusual sounding one. We'll do the actual contest in just a little bit, but we thought we'd give a preview here so you'll be ready when we give the signal later on in the show. Our mystery bird is long and slender, bigger than a robin, but quite a bit smaller than a crow, with a brown back and wings, buff-colored undersides, a long tail with large white spots along its edges, a black face mask, and a downward curved bill whose upper mandible is black and whose lower mandible is yellow. Here in the U.S., our mystery bird is usually found in or near a certain type of vegetation in coastal salt or brackish water. We can't name the vegetation because that would kind of give away the identity of the bird. In the U.S., the bird is found almost exclusively along the southern coast of Florida, where it forages in trees and shrubs for grasshoppers and caterpillars and moths and other insects. That's our mystery bird. We always aim to connect with prize providers who really care about our planet. And that is most certainly true of the source of our newest prize starting on today's show. It's Plain Products, and that's Plaine. Plain Products is on a mission to eliminate single-use plastic from the bathroom with a line of toxin-free personal care products for the whole family, packaged in aluminum bottles that can be sent back and refilled. The prize is a Plain Products travel set. Shampoo, conditioner, body wash, and body lotion. You're going to love it if you're today's winner. You'll also love our other prize. It's a big bag of our favorite coffee, shade-grown and delicious Birds and Beans coffee. Every cup of Birds and Beans coffee supports conservation because every bean is triple certified as Smithsonian bird-friendly, representing the highest standard for wildlife habitat preservation. So we're proud to have these prizes for our Mystery Bird contest, so please call in to win them when we do the contest in just a little bit. And a reminder, as we always say, if nobody gets quite the right answer, we'll do a drawing to determine our winner on the contest just a bit later on. Talkin' Birds ambassadors are the folks who help us spread the word about our show and about birds and conservation. And we want to thank Tom Shanahan, Sr. from Weymouth, Massachusetts, for becoming a Talkin' Birds ambassador. Thank you, Tom, for the kind words. Tom says he's been a listener for many years. And thank you to Louise DeAngelis from Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. Thank you, Louise. To become a Talkin' Birds ambassador and join the family with Tom and Louise, just go to talkinbirds.com. That's talkinbirds.com.
There's no G in talking.
And then just click where it says Get Involved up at the top of the page there. You scroll down a little bit to the Become an Ambassador section there. Very easy to sign up, very easy to do, and a great way to spread the word about birds and conservation. Well, still to come today, we'll talk with drone pilot Adam Knox, who's part of a program to save Hawaiian birds from avian malaria by controlling mosquito populations. Also today, Mike O'Connor will join us for Let's Ask Mike Live to tell us about his experiment to determine the best flowers for attracting hummingbirds. And up next, we'll travel to the Far East to meet this week's featured feathered friend. It seems natural to like superlatives, including when it comes to birds. What's the fastest? Which is the highest flyer? Which one is the most beautiful? Well, today's question is, what's the biggest member of the sandpiper or Scolopacidae family? Well, it's today's featured feathered friend, the Far Eastern curlew. It's slightly larger than the similar long-billed curlew, with a more than 2-foot length and about a 3.5-foot wingspan. It's mostly a mottled brown color and can be separated from other curlews by its plain, unpatterned underwings. Its slender, downward curving bill can be up to 8 inches long, about the same as that long-billed curlew relative. The Far Eastern curlew breeds in northeastern Asia. Most individuals winter in coastal Australia, while some head to South Korea, Thailand, the Philippines, and New Zealand for non-breeding season. On its nesting grounds, the Far Eastern curlew feeds mostly on the larvae of beetles and flies and on small crustaceans. In non-breeding season, it favors crabs, small mollusks, and marine worms. This bird is in trouble, with its population having fallen dramatically in recent decades. The decline is thought to be especially linked to massive tidal flat reclamations and the resulting loss of mudflats by China, North Korea, and South Korea along the coast of the Yellow Sea. It's listed as a vulnerable species by the International Union of Concerned Scientists. It's listed as a vulnerable species by the International Union of Concerned Scientists, and in Australia, it's been declared critically endangered. The East Asian Australasian Flyway Partnership, comprised of 24 member countries, was formed in 2015 and continues working to try to reverse the bird's population decline. As of 2006, the Far Eastern curlew's global population was estimated at 38,000 individuals.
It's the biggest migrating shorebird in the world, Numenius madagascariensis, the far eastern curlew. Welcome again to our show number 1050. Hawaiian honeycreepers, a group of songbirds that evolved in the forests of the Hawaiian Islands and are found only there, have long been beset by threats, including but not limited to habitat destruction and the introduction of mammals and birds from Europe and elsewhere, leading to the extinction of many species in Hawaii, with most of the survivors now endangered. The latest threat to the birds comes in the form of mosquito-borne avian malaria. As climate change brings rising temperatures, mosquitoes are able to move to higher elevations that they previously could not do, eliminating the birds' ability to escape the insects and the avian malaria they carry. To provide a sense of the scope of the problem, Hawaii Program Director for the American Bird Conservancy, Dr. Chris Farmer, says that without significantly reducing invasive mosquito populations, multiple native bird species will disappear forever in the near future. At least 33 species of honeycreeper are now extinct, he points out, and many of the 17 that remain on Maui and on Kauai are highly endangered. The latest effort to try to address this avian malaria threat is led by American Bird Conservancy, ABC, and the Birds Not Mosquitoes partnership, and it involves the use of drones to introduce specially treated male mosquitoes into the environment to interrupt the reproductive cycle of the mosquitoes. Adam Knox is the drone pilot and aerial deployment of mosquitoes project manager for ABC, and he joins us now to tell us about this effort. Good morning, Adam.
Good morning, Ray. Thank you for having me.
It's our pleasure. Thank you for doing this. And tell us, if you would, Adam, how this drone program came about and basically how it works.
Sure. Maybe I'll start. I'll back up and preface by saying that the landscape that we're working in, where the native honeycreepers live, is very remote. It's very difficult to access, and so we knew that being able to walk or drive to the areas where their habitat was going to be next to them, if not impossible. And so we knew that we were going to have to use aircraft to accomplish our goal of mosquito suppression. And so we started and we continue to use, we started with and continue to use helicopters to try to accomplish our goals with the mosquitoes controls. And that has evolved into also developing a methodology to get our mosquito suppression out there using drones. And so that's kind of where we're at today. We're working on developing that to the fullest extent. We've had some great success so far.
So a great solution or partial solution using drones. But what are some of the big challenges now facing you?
Right. So I guess I'll also, just for clarity, I can maybe explain how it works, just sort of the logistics, and then that'll probably give you a good sense of the challenges. But what we're doing is we're using a process, methodology. It's called the incompatible insect technique. And so we're essentially we're weaponizing the mosquitoes against themselves. And we're doing this using a natural occurring bacterium called Wolbachia. And the whole concept with the incompatible insect technique is that a male and female mosquitoes, when they meet and they breed, the strains of Wolbachia inside of their gut system, inside their body, is different than the eggs that they hatch will be sterile. They will not hatch. So that's what we're going for. And the way we do that is that we make sure we know that the mosquito species that we're interested in that transmits avian malaria and hurts the birds or leads to their mortality, we know what the species is. It's the Q. lexicon fasciitis. And we know that within that species found here on Maui, what type of Wolbachia it does have and what it doesn't have. And keep in mind, most insects, if and certainly the mosquitoes here have Wolbachia in their system. This is, across the animal kingdom, just different types of strains. And so what we can do is make sure that the strain that we're introducing in the male Culex mosquitoes that will go meet our wild Culex mosquitoes have a different strain of Wolbachia. So when they meet up and they mate, the eggs will eventually be sterile. And over time, you get this suppressive effect, right? The population of mosquitoes will hopefully drop off, and transmission of disease to the birds will also drop off, hopefully leading to their them sort of coming back, right? So the logistics in trying to get mosquitoes out there on the landscape, these very specialized mosquitoes, as you can imagine, can be in this environment, is complicated. We have to use helicopters and now using drones to get these mosquitoes into the air over the site and drop them out over the forest and down into the forest so that they'll wake up and fly out and do their thing. That's a complex process. These mosquitoes are reared in a lab, and they're flown to us to Hawaii, and we then have to prepare them. They're climate controlled the whole time. We have to prepare them to board the aircraft. We have to take off with the aircraft, fly over to the site, and we have predetermined spots that we drop each of these that are within the bird habitat to make sure that there's an even distribution. And so this is, thousands of feet up in the mountains, mountainous environment, Hawaiian cloud forest jungle. So very difficult to access the site.
I wish we had more time to talk more about this, but you've given us an overview there. Adam, let me just ask you, what are your hopes for a successful outcome of the project?
The hope is that we'll start to see a rapid decline of mosquitoes in the landscape where we're working, in the bird habitat. So we're hoping that we'll see effective suppression, and that through our trapping, we'll start to see less and less mosquitoes out in the landscape.
Can you get a sense of progress at this point, that it's working, in other words?
It's difficult to know. There's a lot to tease out of what's going on. But, we're hopeful. We continue to stay hopeful. Sometimes these things takes a while too. So that's the thing is, it's unclear what the time scale might be until we see actual birds coming back. I don't know. We don't know if it's years. But yeah, the goal is to see mosquito suppression. And once we start doing more intensive surveys and have a sense after we've been doing this for enough time, then we'll probably get an idea of how well it's working.
Adam Knox is the drone pilot and aerial deployment of mosquitoes project manager for the American Bird Conservancy. Adam, thank you for your great work, and I hope we can connect again for updates.
Thank you. I really appreciate your time.
Adam Knox here on Talkin Birds, and that just is kind of a quick intro to the wonderful work they're doing there. And I want to mention this terrific website, which tells a lot more. It also includes some wonderful photos of Hawaiian birds and a video that tells a lot more about this project to save those honey creepers. So the website is birdsnotmosquitoes.org. As usual with these things, it's all one word, so it's birdsnotmosquitoes.org. Mosquitoes has an E-S on the end there. Coming up next here, it's our Mystery Bird Contest in just 1 minute. The flutter of a tail feather, the flash of a wing bar in mid-flight. You don't always have a lot of time to identify a bird in nature, let alone to appreciate its beauty. But with Vortex Optics, you'll have the power to bring every wild moment closer. When you choose Vortex, you're choosing to have a partner in the field as passionate about nature as you are. Whether you're spotting old friends on the backyard feeder or packing for a once-in-a-lifetime trip to add a few species to your life list, Vortex offers a full range of optics and optics accessories for every birder and every budget. And whether the birds are taking you to another state or another country, you're always covered by the Vortex VIP warranty, an unlimited lifetime promise to keep you and your optic covered. If you'd like to learn more, or if you need help choosing your next optic, give Vortex a call at 1-800-4VORTEX or visit vortexoptics.com. Is our rather unusual sounding mystery bird. Please call us as soon as you can for our contest this morning. I'll give you the clues here in a moment. Just a reminder again about our wonderful new prize. And as we said earlier, we always aim to connect with prize providers who care about our planet. Plain Products is such a prize provider, and their prize here is a Plain Products travel set. Shampoo, conditioner, body wash, and body lotion, and our other prize. Also great for conservation, and that's Birds and Beans coffee, because every cup supports conservation, triple certified as Smithsonian bird friendly. Our mystery bird is long and slender, bigger than a robin, smaller than a crow, with a brown back and wings, buff-colored undersides, a long tail with large white spots along its edge, a black mask, face mask, a downward curved bill with a black upper mandible and a yellow lower mandible. Here in the U.S., our bird is found in or near a certain type of vegetation in coastal salt or brackish water. Can't name the vegetation, that would kind of give it away. In the U.S., our bird is found almost exclusively along the southern coasts of Florida, foraging in trees and shrubs for grasshoppers, caterpillars, moths, and other insects. Tell us what that bird is or take your guess. A drawing determines our winner if we don't get the right answer. And here's the number. It's 781-837-4900. And here it is again, 781-837-4900 for our Mystery Bird contest. Next, we'll check in with Mike O'Connor. It's Let's Ask Mike live in just 1 minute.
Wildlife around the globe needs help. And when you help protect them, you become a friend of the San Diego Zoo Wildlife Alliance, a real friend, the kind of friend you want to thank. And not just with a card or a text, but with a song.
Thank you for being a friend.
Travel down the road and back again.
Your heart is true, you're a pal and a confidant.
Thank you for being a friend. Thank you for being a friend. Thank you for being a friend.
From your friends at the San Diego Zoo Wildlife Alliance, thank you for helping protect wildlife around the globe. Without you, there's no them. Learn more at sdcwa.org/friend.
Thank you for being a friend.
Mike O'Connor is there at the famous Birdwatchers General Store on Cape Cod. Well, Mike is the author of a couple of best-selling books. One of them is called Why Do Bluebirds Hate Me? But I believe that, Mike, hummingbirds love you, even if the bluebirds don't show up all that much. Am I right about that?
1 second, sorry.
Maybe I'll give you an easier question than instead of that one. We don't actually have Mike, so I'm just talking. I'm talking to Jesse, and I'm talking to everybody except Mike, but that'll change momentarily. So I can just introduce what Mike is talking about, and that is his test to figure out what is the best flowering plant, or what are some of them, for attracting hummingbirds to your backyard. Possibly Mike is there now. Is that correct? Are you there, Mike?
You just never know. You just never know these days.
You just like to be mysterious about this. You know what I mean? It's like you're like the human mystery bird kind of.
I was just watching that video you were talking about, the birds, not mosquitoes.
Yeah.
That is really good. That's really good. As a matter of fact, call me back later so I can finish it.
I'm kind of busy watching this video.
Yeah, I'm watching that. That's really cool.
Yeah, we do it later, but...
anyway, we're doing a different topic today, yeah.
Yeah, we're talking about... Go ahead, because you know what we're talking about.
Who knows what I'm talking about? Right. Over the years, and back a zillion years ago when I was just a kid, I decided I wanted to learn about birds. I go to the library, I get these old black and white books about how to attract birds, and they always said if you want hummingbirds, the two plants you should try are fuchsias and trumpet vines, trumpet creepers. Those will get you the hummingbirds. So I planted those, and every year I put out a fuchsia, and I planted trumpet creepers all through the yard and where I work. And in 50 years, I've seen a total of one hummingbird going to those plants. I don't know who's getting them, but it's not me.
Yeah.
So then other customers said, "Oh no, you got to try." The two other next plants to try would be cardinal flower, which sounds like a plant you use to attract cardinals, but they said, no, the hummingbirds like it. And the other one is bee balm, and it's bee balm, B-A-L-M, not something you use to explode bees with.
Beetle bomb, but that's another.
No, it's just not an explosive. It's not B-O-M-B. Is that how you spell bomb? So anyways, so I put those out. I grow them in my yard now, and the hummingbirds come a little bit. Yeah. But they go to all the flowers a little bit. Not really. It's not really the excitement that I was hoping for. So I was mentioning it to a customer just this spring, and she said, "Well, what you want is something called vermilion air." It sounds exotic. Vermilion. It's like millionaire with a V-E-R in front of it. Yeah. Vermilion air. They also call it firecracker plant, and it's full of blossoms, and it's all these are native plants to North America, but vermilion air is only native really to Mexico in this part of North America. So you have to, so you have to treat it like an annual. It's like a potted plant. So you put it out, and we had a half a whiskey barrel because we finally finished drinking all the whiskey out of it.
Took a while,
and so we filled it with dirt, and we've got these vermilion airs. And oh my goodness, the hummingbirds helped us plant them. What a difference. What a difference this plant. All these other ones still waiting, still trying to get the ones on the fuchsia, still ignoring that. But they came to this vermilion firecracker plant, and we put them out in June, and the birds are still coming to them. And I think, if you want to try something that doesn't take a lot of work, I would look up this firecracker plant, vermilion air. It's native to North America, just not so much in our area, and it's going to disappear on you as the winter comes, so you'll have to grab a new one in the spring. But put that out, and still buy a hummingbird feeder because I don't want to put myself out of business. But if you want, and the bees like it too, so it's a good plant to get. Write that down.
Get the plants and get a hummingbird feeder. And so bee balm, not so much, but vermilion air. Yeah.
That was my. I interrupted your ending. I'm sorry, but I just want to make sure that's what my experience. Other people have had better luck at that, but that's what I had. Good luck. So I didn't mean to cut off your ending.
That's all right. If it's good enough for you, it's good enough for us. Thank you, Mike. Talk to you next week.
You got it.
All right, Mike O'Connor there with some hummingbird advice, and we're back to the mystery bird contest. Here's that bird one more time. Lovely prizes await if you can identify this long and slender bird, bigger than a robin, smaller than a crow, with a brown, black and back and wings, buff-colored undersides, and a long tail with large white spots along its edges, a black face mask, and a downward curving bill whose mandible is black on top and yellow on the bottom. That's our prize. Whoa, oh my gosh, we're pretty close to being out of time. Caroline is on the line. Caroline, good morning. What do you think our mystery bird is?
I'm guessing the cactus wren because he has a polka-dotted tail.
Oh, the polka-dotted tail is how you would say that. And then, oops. Doesn't appear to be the correct answer, but we are so much out of time here anyway. We're going to have to say what the bird is, which is the mangrove cuckoo. The mangrove cuckoo is our mystery bird. But thanks for the try there, Caroline.
Okay.
All right, the mangrove cuckoo is our mystery bird, and we are plumb out of time for this morning. We'll get to work on our next show, and we think it's going to be kind of a special one, but we'll see. Thanks to our amazing Talkin Birds team, Debbie Bleacher, Freya McGregor, our producing engineer, Jesse Wilkins, assisted by Vinny. I'm Ray Brown. See you next week.
The bird show. I like that. I love it.
Ray Brown's Talkin Birds.
Made possible by the generous support of the Birdwatchers General Store, Orleans, Cape Cod. Birdwatchersgeneralstore.com.
By Vortex Optics with the VIP warranty. Their unlimited lifetime promise to keep you and your optic covered. Learn more at vortexoptics.com. And by Hog Island Audubon Camp. hogisland.audubon.org.